All right, peoples, we are live.
Oh, we're live.
We are live.
We're live.
We are
Oh,
we are
crazy. Okay.
we are
Yeah.
live and
All right.
alive.
So, oh, my bad. Let me mute that. Okay. So, hi, everybody. This is your girl, Queen Pedii, and we're back for another night, discussion after show. I don't, yeah, that sounded like real stupid, but, yeah.
We got that after show afterglow.
Yeah.
The show, yeah.
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 Why we sound so sad?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure why
We
y'all
sound
sounds
so sad.
I
Like,
don't
what is
know.
going on here?
I don't know. Like people are going through it. Apparently
Yeah, we're all going.
Friday's just not it.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I was busy all week. It's been
Hmm.
busy nonstop. I'm so glad that I still have time to really focus in and get these episodes and crank these episodes in like you guys, because I was getting a little worried at one point, but
What?
no, that I just wouldn't have the time. Like I was getting,
Oh,
yeah, I was getting worried that I wouldn't, and I was like,
yeah.
ah.
Okay. So, y'all, Ricky Martin is being allegedly was having a sexual relationship with his nephew.
Mm.
Who's Ricky Martin?
Upside, inside
Puerto
out.
Rican R. Kelly. That's
Huh?
what somebody said. He was the Puerto Rican version of R. Kelly. I was like, oh no.
Why am I
Oh.
phone shut down? No.
Clint is disconnecting.
You say he's disconnecting?
No, he's not. He shouldn't. He said his phone is disconnecting. So
What? Okay.
mm.
Yeah. But yeah, so like basically he's over here sleeping with his husband's nephew. It's a step nephew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's just been a week because what's his name? Elon Musk daddy too. Over here fathering children with the stepdaughter.
What?
You didn't hear about that?
No, I've been out of
Oh,
the
this is their
Elon
second
tuss.
child. This is their
Oh,
second child.
there he goes. There he goes.
What about that Kevin Samuels night B? What about him?
Is Kevin Samuels dead?
Yeah,
Why are we talking about Kevin Samuels for?
that's what a comment came through. I don't
Co-
know what to tell you on that.
Oh wait, on the stream?
Yeah,
Oh shit!
always pop the chat out.
The,
Yeah,
oh, whoa, who said it? I can't see
night
it.
B,
Mike D, what's up?
night B, baby, night B.
Night B,
Mm-hmm.
Night B.
So,
What's up, Night B?
I
Welcome to
mean,
the show. After show.
Our
yeah.
subscriber,
Okay, cool
Woody
beans.
So,
Allen. Yup. Woody Allen did it. What's another one?
Didn't Elvis do it?
I think his no Great Balls of Fire.
That's
That's who you're thinking about. Whatever that guy's name is.
is this our fourth after
They
show?
did a whole movie about him. He married his cousin, uh, Jimmy Lee something probably. I don't know what his name was, but if y'all search up Great Balls of Fire,
Wait. So Kevin Samuels did what exactly? He did something with his niece
I
or
think he just
nephew?
wanted to talk about Kevin Samuels.
Oh, I'm about to say. See, what I'm thinking about the context of what we're talking about, and then this nigga just said.
yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels.
I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh.
Like, uh-oh.
Not everyone holding this man on a pedestal. Y'all tell me some shit like this. I'm like,
Yeah.
whew. America, we gotta do better.
But no, what's another person who did that shit? This is just weird. Oh, what's his name? From Temptations.
Well,
Who?
Temptations. The guy that,
22.
damn, what is his name? And see,
Yeah,
I don't want
I told him I'm not doing the after show no more.
you said what?
What happened?
You said
What
what?
happened?
What happened?
Not you.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, all I heard was I'm not doing. I'm
talking
not.
about-
Yeah, let's say don't scare me like that, Kenny.
No,
Mhm.
I was just talking to you guys.
Oh, there we go. We got a Glenn.
Oh.
We got two cancers on cam. The cancer cam right here. Here we go.
I'm back.
And he's live.
What's goody?
The samurai with two eyes.
Samurai.
Another one of our awesome subscribers, Jasmine.
Oh, we got Jasmine and we got Night V. Oh man, I feel special.
Oh Lord, it's about
Oh,
to
we-
get real.
Our comments about to be
Yeah,
popping.
couple.
Don't be reading the people in the comments, okay? If they knew, be nice, okay? Don't do too much.
Horrible. But no, but in all seriousness, what do y'all think about these people sleeping with their like family member ish is?
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I really don't give.
I don't. It's
like it ain't affecting me.
that particular, whether it's right or wrong, whatever, at this point, I'd rather focus on my happiness and me knowing or putting energy into a scenario that does not pertain to me, does not make me happy, especially something that does not exactly. She said nasty, man. Absolutely.
He
But
sexual. I'm here for it.
but on that note, I don't think that people should be doing that. But if it makes you happy, whatever. I'm not here for it. Yeah, but that don't work for me.
I think I knew a girl whose cousins were sleeping together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you hear about the stuff all the time. It doesn't necessarily have to be the stereotypical like Southerners, the kissing cousins. We all heard the jokes, all that shit. It doesn't necessarily have to be the country bumpkins doing it, you know.
Yeah.
But
And these weren't no country bumpkins either.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, I mean, high
They were
society.
black.
Some high societies do it too. I'm sure. I am. I
Yes,
am
they
sure.
were. They were black.
Hmm.
I mean, in
People
religion,
from the south.
supposedly we did it to for a certain amount of
People
time.
from the
So,
South do
Hmm.
that.
People from
you
the
know,
south do that. Not the south. Why she spells south like sourdough?
you know, for me, like I said, it really, I
He
sit back
said,
about a lot of stuff these days, and I'm just like, who are we to say was right, wrong, or indifferent? Whatever floats your boat. Like, who am I to say is right or wrong,
As long as this
or
shit don't
even
pertain to
say
me,
it is nasty?
right?
genetics.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Well, I mean, well, let genetics be the person to speak for it.
Genetics.
Genetics can be the
What?
what do you call it? The 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 voice of the populace, because at the same, because like that shit does nothing to me. Like
Exactly.
nothing.
I mean, like, but what's genetics got to do with it? I'm
We
still
have a
lost.
justice system exactly for that.
Ah,
I'm
He
lost
said.
with
stop it.
He said,
the
"What's gen?"
angle that you going at.
You
No,
know
no,
damn well what. Look, do
no.
I
She
have
said.
to
She
take us
said.
through a history lesson on why we should not be sleeping with cousins, nephews,
I know
nieces,
all
all
the
that?
myths
I mean,
that
go
they
for
have
it. Go for
said,
it. Go for
Okay,
it.
but
Go
so
for it.
here was, I believe he was King. Fuck, King was it King Ferdinand? Well, he was one of the Spanish king, princes, kings, whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Inbred.
I
But
mean,
yeah, so
Nightbeat, you're right. Why? I mean, why? You're right.
yeah. I mean, and like he was so fucked up because they had been so inbred that when they like gave him his autopsy and he was only like in his 30s, his head was like just filled with water. Like there was no brain. The stem was like weird. Like it was very odd. Like he couldn't even really talk.
Right.
Like
and
he
they
was
can
he lived
prove
a
that that's because of the incest.
yes, nigga. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yes. Like
Hold
what?
on. I want to say something about Nightbeat's statement. While he says, what have a justice? I guess why have a justice system if we not allowed? Wait, if we not allowed to determine what's right and wrong? I want to talk on that because
oh yeah,
remember,
yeah.
on that note, while you're not wrong, the angle of the system of what it's supposed to be is technically not right either, because when you think about it, the justice system evolves and changes when the general populace changes and public opinion changes. At some point, incest was not considered a bad thing. In
My
some
point.
countries, in some parts of the Europe or whatever, in the past, it was only through science and public opinion did that really change and that become taboo. It's just like slavery, it's the same thing. The justice system at a time was said that it was okay protect to have slaves. It protected slaves. The justice system protected slaves. It protected people as property and everything else, whether it was right or wrong. At the time, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
the, you know,
Let me go through my family tree.
here we go. Hold on.
King
True
Tut.
justice isn't defined.
King Tut is the reason why
Except,
you should not sleep with your family members. Okay. Look up how fucked up King Tut was because of the inbreeding.
what was he? Was he? Well, wait. I'm not looking that up right now. I don't have the stomach for it. I just ate a whole bunch of mangoes, and yeah, no, I'm not doing that
I'm
shit.
gonna look it up though. But too, I will say that most of the stuff, because I know I have a little knowledge on it,
Mhm.
is dealing with first cousins and like first families, like
Mhm.
my brother or my sister,
Mhm.
not necessarily my
Stepkid.
cousin or stepkids and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I think the voice of God made a good point too. it comes down to culture too.
Yeah, no, well, I didn't say culture. That was actually Night B. I was reciting what he said. He said justice isn't defined except by culture, and it's true. In
Oh yeah.
some places are defined directly by their culture or religion. Even the U.S., albeit as loose as it is, foundation is rooted in Christianity. Even though people don't want to admit that it is, the laws that we have, the amendments that we have, are definitely King Tut died from a physical trauma, not genetics. That's what. I gotta cut myself off. Queen Pedii, that's for you. Queen.
Miss Queen.
Queen, is she? Are you flabbergasted? You're getting
No,
challenged. You're getting challenged
because
right now.
okay, when did I ever say that he?
You a big
Oh, no. I didn't say King Tut died from genetics. The print that King of Spain died from genetics.
Oh well, no.
King
You said
Tut
King Tut.
died,
You said King Tut was
yes,
really
from
fucked
physical
up.
trauma,
Well, you
but
said
he was still fucked up
from being an inbred.
from being inbred.
How many generations of inbreeding was he?
Too goddamn many.
Too many. So we talking
Mm.
about hundreds of years of inbreeding to keep the
Yeah.
bloodline pure.
Well, no.
That the Game of Thrones shit. Because that's you. That's
It won't last that fucking long.
that time period is really when I see or think about
First
like
cousins getting married and something.
all that shit.
No.
Yeah, like.
And so what I'm saying is, King Tut's. Look, it was a lot of inbreeding in there. Okay, it was a lot. That's all I got.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're the one who brought it up. I figured that you. I figured you were the expert on it. So
I never. All I'm saying is I never said that he died from physical trauma.
Okay,
I mean from genetics.
I'm not saying that.
Just saying,
okay.
Yeah, no. That was for Night B. I know that. I'm just, the other one died
right
from genetics.
Right. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, like I said, it was a different time period at that time. It was socially acceptable and not frowned upon as much as it is now. It was definitely more socially acceptable. Like arranged marriages back then were more socially acceptable, but arranged marriages are now only for like high society or cultural gathering or cultural what do you call it, practices, I guess, now for those kinds of practices, because it's not normalized anymore. It's not socially acceptable to be arranged by anybody.
Jasmine said, "What about the gas prices? They be making up the prices."
Sometimes we are. I mean, they go up and down. So I've heard recently that gas went down by 30 cents. So I guess so that means that it should be back in the $4, which is kind of like, but. I'm just thinking about like 2012 and 13 when gas prices were barely $3.50, fucking $3.33, and all that shit. I'm just like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck are we doing? Can we end this war? Whatever the fuck going on, so gas prices can go back to fucking normal.
This ain't it. Actually,
I won't share it, but I won't share the thumbnail or whatever. But I was actually asked a question in a group chat. I'm gonna share it real quick. Hold on. Since she brought up gas, it's related to that. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. It was a question of what would you rather. Here it is. So you can only bring back one. It's one of those memes or video pictures where it says apartments at $5 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. Gas prices being under $1. So the most premium is like 99 cents. So unlead is like 79 cents. You got $1,000 used cars or $5 buffets. You can only bring back one. What would you do?
You can only bring back one.
One of those things can come back right now. You can.
Oh, the $5 living.
500. No, okay. So no. So $500 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. You got gas prices under $1. Premium gas is 99 cents. We got used cars at $1,000. good used cars at $1,000.
That's a no-brainer.
And $5 buffets.
No-brainer. 500
Is
a
it?
month.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, easy. You need a house over your
Yep.
head. So what? Gas
Yep.
go. Get on
Apartment.
The
Fuck the
apartment?
gas.
Yeah,
Fuck the gas?
apartments.
You said
Fuck the gas. Apartment.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
I'm gonna have to
Apartment
go
all the
with
way.
the apartment
But what? Okay, yeah.
because as much as I love to eat, I need somewhere to live.
Yeah.
It's funny how. So I'm pretty sure everyone in here, with Queen, no, with me being the youngest or the oldest, no, Queen being the oldest, youngest. With Queen being the youngest, everyone's here more or less a millennial, and like all the millennial. Oh, by the way, yes, the 500 apartment. Even though
She want the low cash.
I don't blame you. No, see, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Because you know what? If gas is low, then guess I would be more inclined to get like one of those big ass RVs and just drive. And then and I don't have to worry about the shit no more. Gas prices be low as hell. I've seen those luxurious fucking RVs and shit with the flat screen TVs and all that other shit.
But if you make gas too low, we will run out.
I mean, we're gonna run out regardless.
Yeah, if I would say apartment.
Yeah, no, I mean, cause I'm like shit, like. But what if, okay, you got an apartment, but gas prices so high you can't afford to go nowhere. What if you I mean,
Still good somewhere. You got 2 legs.
oh, you funny as shit. You go 2 legs. Oh, so you felt okay. Use that as an example. So let's say in order to get your $500 a month, right? To get your $500 a month, you it forces you to live in the slums of Baltimore. No offense, Baltimore, but so you live in Baltimore, and your security job is all the way in DC, but gas prices are $10 an hour, $10 a gallon. What you finna do?
Transportation, boy. Public transportation. I do it now. I get up my 2-3 hours early and look. Do what I gotta do.
But remember, he never said Uber is not there, Lyft, or anything.
What do you think if gas prices are up? What do you think is going to be affected?
They pay for that, not us.
Yeah, exactly.
You said they pay for it. If we're using it, then shit, we can't.
I mean, yeah, but I'm paying. I mean, my prices might go up, but
shit, I've already seen it with what's going on now. This shit didn't skyrocket so fucking high. I remember when gas prices went up, I think I officially gave up on Lyft because Lyft was talking about some it's gonna cost you $40 to get to work. I said $40? One time it said $75. I called my job and said, hey, I'm gonna be late. I said $75? $75 to get to fucking work. Have y'all lost your mind? Have y'all lost your fucking mind? Hold on, what? Nah. I'm 2 lux. I want low gas. Absolutely, yeah.
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 But you're right. Inflation is just greed.
She said 85 for mine. I'm here for it.
Jeez.
I'm here for it. Wait. Are you saying it costs you $85?
How much it costs?
To fill up your car right now? I just want to know, Jasmine. It costs you
85.
85.
85. The 85 gas.
That whatever that number is, it sounds cursed. Unless that shit's 80. She said fucking yes.
Say yeah.
Absolutely not. That's cursed. That's some cursed ass shit.
$85. That's ridiculous.
I remember I told you, like, my brother drives a Ford Flex. It usually costs him about $40, maybe shy 50 at the most to fill his car. Now we're pushing $71 to $75 a gallon, depending on where we're going. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's constant. It's a constant thing. So, and it just adds up. It just adds up. And you know, Kenny will tell you, you know, there's no point in complaining about it, you know, because you got to get the gas, right? You got to get the gas. But the reality is that, you know, I don't know if we talked about it before, but like, if I have to put all my money into getting the gas, then what if I won't have money to the fucking go where the fuck I was trying to go. If I was trying to go
Get
to the
that
fucking
electric car.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm telling y'all, hey,
I tell
podcast.
you, that's my next vehicle is the electric car.
Oh, Jasmine said she got a truck, so she understand that. Yeah, she probably
That's
for
gas.
yeah,
Better
yeah.
move
But,
to electric.
but yeah, like, oh my goodness.
Wages have
It
stayed the
was
same since
cool,
1970.
like,
I mean, the
regardless.
minimum wage has gone up a little bit, night B, a little bit. I mean, it depends on the place.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
has. I mean, ma'am, we talking about we're not 725 no more, man. I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember that. Like, we thought we was
That was barely getting you a paycheck.
that was, but you know what? You know what? People could get paid 725, work full time, and afford barely, but afford an apartment. They can't do that shit. Well, here we are in 2022. Some of us making 20 plus an hour and still can't afford to live in DC by themselves. That's trifling. That's trifling. Just so you know, that's absolutely despicable. But no, I think the national minimum wage is still 7.25 an hour. I think because they won't change, they won't force it to go up. You see, I was working in North Virginia, making $8 an
Oh
hour
no.
in 2015.
Well, you know what? When I worked at Kmart, I think I only got like maybe eight, no,
What?
960. I only got a little bit more than than minimum wage because of like the fuck was it? I don't know. It was a reason why I got over. It might have been because of bilingual.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Because I was like, there's a reason why I got a little more.
All right. So, real quick, you guys, we're going to go ahead and take a slight brief intermission. Don't go anywhere, chat. We'll be right back. We just want to make sure everything's
Yes.
good. All right.
Oh,
See you in a
thank you.
moment. back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope he didn't held you up too long. You know, we gotta take these slight brief intermissions real quick because of reasons.
You know what? You so fucking petty.
No, wait, no shade, no shade.
Shady boots. Shady boots.
Who's your? Oh
That was
wait,
shady,
wait.
baby. Who's your GOAT rapper choice? Oh, Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
Whoa. So it's funny. I don't know.
You said what?
So you're talking about condoms when you said gold rapper choice.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, wow.
He can't see the comments. Man, because I was like, nigga, are you reading?
No. That's it. So Tryst, because you just got here, we have some people in the chat. We got Jasmine.
I'm so
we got
sorry.
Night B.
I'm so
We have somebody else? Is it? I thought we had somebody else in the chat. No. We got Jasmine and Night B in the chat. And Jasmine asks, who's your GOAT rapper choice? Just period.
Kendrick Lamar.
Eminem.
Of all time?
Of all time. Your greatest of all time to you. Obviously.
Did she include, wait. Did you act, well, are you talking about live or
Hey,
dead?
I respect that. Someone said Mace. I respect the fuck out of that.
Mace?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alive? Are you talking about alive or dead?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so a rapper, greatest of all time of all rappers, right?
Of all time, she said in all caps, of all time, period. So the only person I want to argue anybody down about this list, I better not hear no one say fucking Drake, because this nigga is not a rapper.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, I used to love Drake back in the day, from like Coldest Winter Ever and fucking Fear.
No, I'm doing shade. I love Drake. I love old Drake. I don't like the new Drake.
Yeah.
You know, like
New Drake, he's so commercial. He once the whole writing thing got exposed and the baby mama thing got exposed, any interest in actually being like respected as a rapper went out the window for him.
Absolutely. No, I can't. I'm not gonna say I can't stand him, because that's not true. It's not. I understand his gimmick, or what. I mean. Oh, Jasmine said Eminem. He did have a gimmick. It was a gimmick. He had a gimmick. He was the monotone artist. His gimmick was that whatever he made starting off, anybody could sing it and sound good. Think about it. Yeah. So someone like me could just be like,
just monotone.
Right.
So you can freestyle off that.
Right. Baby, you my everything. You know, you could put other people. He was putting other people on to sing songs to their girl, right, without actually doing it. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
Jasmine said Eminem.
I'm up there with him. He's up there. I fucks with him.
He is definitely.
Kanye West was two of my favorites growing up, especially. Still, for me, the greatest. I feel like I'm not putting respect in the game if I don't say Andre 3000. For me, he is the remix king to me. Put him on any fucking song remix, he is gonna kill that shit. He's gonna take that song over. It's gonna become his song, and it's gonna be on some chill, smooth shit. Just like it's boring. Like I love that nigga.
I mean, so damn, because like there's so many. It's funny how we pulled out like lyricists. I just noticed that everyone pulled out a lyricist. I'm thinking like, because I was immediately because I listened to a lot of Lupe growing up. Lupe was like, that was it for me in high school. Like, that was my guy. He got me through high school. Someone said Mystical. Oh my God, Danger. I memean, if we're talking about like who had like that energy like that, I would say Mystical. But then I'm like, I like Lil Jon.
But Ludacris can bring that type of energy though.
Ludacris got some songs. I'm about to say Ludacris has done some stuff recently.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Have you ever listened to Stomp?
He has the show. Yeah, he has the show.
I didn't know about.
Yeah, he has a show with Netflix.
What?
About black and their hair.
Have you guys Have you guys ever listened to the song "Stomp" with Ludacris, T.I., and Young Buck?
I heard that TikTok today. I heard it.
I gotta listen to it.
Yeah,
it.
that is one of my favorite diss songs of all time. Listen to
Oh,
it; it will give you a new
What did you
appreciation
say?
for
What's the
Ludacris.
name of the song?
Stomp.
Like
Oh, you talking about Young
STOMP.
Buck? You talking about Young Buck's
Yeah,
remix?
STOMP. Like Kurt Franklin's "Stomp," as said, is Young
Yeah.
Buck.
That's young.
What?
That's a
Yo,
remix, right? Of for Young Bucks, right?
Excuse me.
It's not necessarily a remix, but let's say
It is.
that Young Buck heard
No,
one
no,
person's verse first,
It's
and he played
fucking
it for
hot.
the other person, and he heard what
it
he said
is.
about him, and so his verse response was on some, oh yeah.
Wait a minute, that is a remix. Cause Stompers already came out on one of Young Bucks album, and then they turned to a remix.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know.
Okay,
I wouldn't know that either. Yeah, I thank you.
Yeah,
For
it's a
The
remix.
story I've heard for it was he put like somebody recorded their verse. He showed that verse to the other person because he
Nicki
was referencing
Minaj.
on his verse.
I don't know about that one.
Nicki
Nicki Minaj
Minaj
is
is a
actually
rape
she has bars.
apologist. Okay, no.
Is
Yeah,
it what?
Bro, no, that has
A
nothing to do with
rape
her. That has
apologist.
nothing to do with her music. R. Kelly is
Some of
still
his
one of the
rappers
greatest.
are
Yeah, it do.
No, because
Yeah,
R.
it
Kelly is still one of the greatest R&B singers of all time, and I don't give a fuck what
Yeah.
no one say.
I agree.
I don't
I
care.
agree.
No, we can do. I'll go there.
This is R. Kelly.
You ain't
I
gotta
agree.
like it. That's fine.
No.
That's fine.
No.
That's fine.
Tell me a song from her last album.
I can't.
Oh,
Exactly.
The last time I listened to Nicki Minaj was
like
Bees in the
their,
Trap.
Their hits, the glory days.
Yeah, like no, not Bees in
R.
the Trap.
Kelly is a pedo. All right, so
R. Kelly was set up. No, I mean, no, like I
no,
said,
he was not.
I don't. I mean,
You don't. So
In a
no.
sense, though.
He set himself up for putting up the tripod.
R. Kelly was not set up. Let's
He
cut
wasn't
it
the
out.
only one,
So
though.
so they set him up to get like a
Doesn't
camera.
take so much
out.
of
they set
Nicki
him.
Minaj.
They
Nicki
set
Minaj.
they set him up to be. If you're gonna say we set him up, they set him up to be the scapegoat for whatever they were doing. Like if all of us did some bullshit and I was the only one and I was the only one to come clean about it, but they'll never find out about you niggas. Then they
His problem was he was
like,
so blatant with it. Remember, dude asked him, how do you feel about dating teenage girls? It's like, when you say it's teenage, how
that
old are we
girl
talking?
that girl lied about his
Like
age.
18, 19. Sir, just say no. Just say.
Jasmine
sir,
said. Jasmine said.
I date legal.
Okay.
You don't have to say when you say teenage. How old do you mean, sir?
Okay, so Jasmine has some comments. She said the girl lied to him about his age in court. Then she said,
What about the
her,
other girls?
Hold on. It said her and her mom who came up with a plot to lie to him about her age. She was 16 at the time when I made that decision and started talking. Oh, okay.
Okay, but let me also say this. At this point in time, this was like what, 20, maybe 16, 17 or whatever, or probably like 2015.
Are you talking about like
men putting into the act of getting a fucking ID? Look at their ID.
Well, remember
Like,
you went and got Aaliyah a fake ID.
Let's stop it.
I mean, on that note though, like
Make
it's
sure
not.
She's over 18.
I was gonna say, like at a certain point, you might, Jasmine, you could very well be right.
Take it on
You
face
could.
value.
I'm about to say you could very well be right.
No,
but at
not
the,
these
hold on,
IDs.
hold on.
All right,
Jasmine, you might very well be right, but R. Kelly has to own up to what he did, which is what he did. You know, regardless of whether or not you lied about someone's age, I hear about this shit all the time. Like, I mean, I said regardless.
Not you. I'm talking to him.
What? Oh, ID can be fake. No, I mean, absolutely. Look, we can fake information. You can still get trapped. Stuff happens, okay? That's why you have to do your due diligence. Especially when
people understand the difference.
You said we not the FBI.
No. I look. We say I went at the FBI. How you verify an ID as a normal person? The dude couldn't even read. Oh,
You're right though. He
Eh,
couldn't read.
but that's the thing. It's not, we talking about these 1 or 2 times that got popular when R. Kelly would regularly have his
I thought
people
they already did.
vocalize
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You sound like a robot. Just give it a second. Get your connection a second. Yeah, a sec. All right, say something. You sound still like Optimus Prime doing a cha-cha slide. So let me just give you something a second.
Doing the cha-cha slide. Wow.
Okay, hold on.
Can you hear me better now?
A little bit. Go ahead and try to talk now. We wanted to get your point across. We just couldn't hear you.
It's doing it again.
The moment this nigga started talking, it started. That's terrible.
Yeah.
If you can't hear me, I would say R. Kelly has a legacy of like having people go out to get drugs from McDonald's, from the shopping malls. So he's one of the ones who's like
we can't.
All right, the name
Elvis
froze.
was a pedo.
Elvis was.
Now what?
So,
yes, Elvis.
Why are we talking about? What? Okay. I don't get it.
You're not looking at the comments, are you?
You talking about the dude couldn't even read? That's the last thing I saw. What are we talking about? I saw the ID could be fake. How many people? How many people are underage and get into the club with fake IDs? I don't know, but I will say that I was underage and I was able to get into the club even though I was working. So I guess it all really depends. I was doing media work right after high school, and I was at an open mic. And we were filming for Comcast Channel 190, the DMV show or the DMV network, whatever the fuck we call it, I forget. And we would go to different clubs and open mics to, film the open mic. And I was only 19 at the time, so yeah, I get it. You can definitely, due to circumstances, fake IDs, whatever, can get into a situation where you really don't need to be because, like, if we're all in an adult situation or adult place expecting adult things, I'm not expecting them to card nobody for their age at the fucking club. You're in here because somebody carded you at the door, so I don't have to do that. That's what I would think, but you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're older and you got money, more shit to lose, whatever the case may be. I don't want to fuck that up. I'm just saying, I would tread cautiously, but under those circumstances of what I just said, I could see me fucking up and being like, damn, I didn't ask her how old she was. Or no, I didn't check her ID at the club. Like, they checked her at the...
I was just gonna that'd be like a one-time thing. Like, and like, of course, for you, just the people that are working in this one-time situation versus a prolific. You keep getting in the same situation all over again. It's like, you find a way to trip and fall, wait for something into something you don't go into.
Sir, it's like Megatron beating the shit out of you. I don't know what else to tell you. Just. Like you.
Is this his service or his phone?
It might be the service in the area. I get it.
Yeah, we can hear one word you said.
But I kind of make it out. It's pretty bad. Okay. Try not using.
Turn your volume. Turn your video off.
Yeah, I was say try turn your camera off. Maybe your camera's taking up too much bandwidth.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's give it a second to adjust, and let's hear how you sound. Cause I'd rather. Try.
I'll try all the time.
Okay.
I'd rather be able to understand you.
Yeah. Say something.
Can you hear me now?
It sounds a little better. It's audible, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how long this goes. But no, I was saying, like, let's say that situation didn't happen to you or somebody else. There's a difference between like even if the court came for you and gave you some bullshit charge or whatever, people would still understand that much better than a situation where you keep tripping, slipping, and falling again and again into the same shit you're not supposed to be tripping from the falling into.
Yeah.
Like he had a habitual
Welcome to the
habit of doing this type of shit. And it wasn't even just about underage. Even more of that was also the other predatory shit he was doing. Like I don't know if you guys ever seen Last Night in Soho, but
No.
like that's a good movie for like
Have mercy.
it's following shit in Britain and it has Anya Taylor Joy
My
in it.
God.
But it's a
What
good
is
movie to
going
reflect the kind of energy some of these people roll with when it
Okay.
comes to like being predatory
Mm.
with women.
I mean, like I said, I can't speak for every like. I'm not here to put R. Kelly on a jury or anything. Like that's already been done. Like
Right.
I think my thing is if I had to say anything about R. Kelly's situation, minus the stuff that we know or that can be proven that he fucked up on, but the shit that he was like blind to, you should have learned from that. Like to anybody out there,
Yeah.
just if you haven't learned anything from R. Kelly's story, is that or anybody out there actually, just and if you're not about that life, clearly, just make sure you check for ID or something. Like at this point, I'm believing the club not safe because niggas just stupid. Like, like people somebody's fuck up will be your fuck up, and while you could sue or whatever because they weren't supposed to be in there to begin with, his whole team should be locked up too. I agree. I agree because no, yeah, absolutely, whole team. Anybody who was aware of his actions, who tried to cover it up for years or whatever, is an accessory. All of them, every last one of them.
But I think that's the whole game. I think that's the whole game. I think he ended up being a scapegoat. I think that industry is full of people like him. Now, for whatever reason, he happened to be the one that's taking the rap right now. But this is not new. That's
It's not.
just that industry.
I mean,
That's how
as the voice of public opinion changes, remember, let's look at the whole Roe versus Wade situation that got overturned recently. That has been in the works for over 10. Actually, said it's been in the works for over 20 years. They've been They've been silently building up to get that overturned. They haven't been making a big rah who whatever. They just been putting the pieces together over years and letting motherfuckers say what they had to say. Now the same thing can be said about this R. Kelly case. Like motherfuckers caught on to what was going on. Public opinion change. Hey, what about R. Kelly? What's going on over there? Hey, if they do a full blown investigation, shit gonna come down. Hey, yo, you gonna have to take the rap for this, homie. I'm sorry, you gonna have to be the Jeff Epstein or whatever the fuck about this shit. Like, cause I don't, nigga, we can't go down I can't go down just because I knew that you was fucking up. Like, that just can't happen. I'm sorry. Yeah, nah.
This what it takes to take down rich people, though.
Too loose.
Like, them niggas will skate by again and again for years until finally.
Hugh? Who's Hugh?
So fucking lazy.
Nobody came for Hugh. Who's Hugh? I only know Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner? You're talking about the guy, the Mac Daddy of Playboy magazine, who's dead, or are we talking about Hugh Dudley?
Think about no, I don't know who that is.
You know, that's one of the. Isn't that one of the Wayne brothers? Wait, yes to Hefner or the other Hugh? I don't know. Hugh Jack, the Playboy. Okay, yeah.
You talking about
Playboy? What about him? What about what he did? Because I imagine he probably did some stuff, but if they could talk about it now, he's dead. If we hear about it, I don't know anything about his situation.
I've never heard anything negative about him.
I'm sure there are negative things to her.
Yeah. Not quiet.
Yeah.
He moved in a very skeezy way, but like it wasn't to the point where like, especially at that time period, like niggas wasn't just loving it back then. Like Bill Cosby would show up to the Playboy Mansion multiple times. It's just one of those type of things where he was kind of like probably like a small, not even small P, but a small violator type of like Epstein, but on something where it's like open and no one was really like complaining too much, and like people weren't doing too much to where like the authorities really got involved.
No, I get you. I get you. I mean, the point I was trying to make, even bringing up R. Kelly, regardless of his track record, is regardless of his criminal or personal track record, he is still one of the greatest R&B singers of all time. Like you can't take that away from him. I don't care. That's like saying that's literally what when people do that shit, because it makes me upset when people try to use one thing to discredit the things that they did right in their life. People try to discredit MLK because he cheated on his wife, despite all the good that he did for us as a people. But he was unfaithful, this, that, and the other. You know, yeah, he was human. He did some shit.
We don't got skeletons.
But we painted him as like this higher person, which was our fault, mind you. That's how history taught him to us. They didn't teach us about his shortcomings. We learned about the shortcomings as we got older, as you know, more information started to be revealed to us.
That, and they demonized him so much that they like I think Cornell West calls it the Santa Clausification of Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Where because of how much they demonized him and they didn't want to look racist going forward in history, they made it seem like, oh, he was this great figure, like the FBI wasn't going at. Like, remember, we did the whole MLK versus FBI episode, like what, either the start of this season or last season.
Yeah, no.
We saw how much in the documentary they were going at him, but later years they tried to play like, oh no, everyone left MLK, and we all understood.
No,
like there was just a few racists out there who were really upset.
But I was like,
I
don't know if you guys looked at the 13th Amendment. I think it was called the 13th Amendment, or the 14th Amendment, the documentary.
13th, yeah.
They talked about it during that time, during that documentary about MLK going to Chicago. I think it was Chicago, talking about the redlining and the poverty. And he was not popular in Chicago. Niggas was throwing bricks at him and shit, and all kinds of shit, because he was like, what the fuck are you going to do? He was very unpopular until he died. Yeah. Until he died.
Especially when you turn on the Democratic Party and start talking about the Vietnam War.
Yeah. He was considered un-American. He was, as in some places, some people saw him as un-American because of he wouldn't talk about certain politics. And yeah, no, I get it. But the reality is that he, despite the shortcomings and how people demonized him, he did a lot. He did a whole lot. And I would be damned to let something like adultery dictate whether or not this person deserves to be written down in history. Write that down in history too. It shows that, hey, he wasn't the most perfect person, but he did his fucking best. And look where we are. Against all odds and all that shit. Like, he was called a communist. He was called a communist. Yes, Nightbee. He was called a communist. He was called a communist. They demonized him. They tried to demonize Muhammad Ali too.
Yeah. All
these people who are great. I'm not saying, and that's our fault. Don't get it twisted. That's where I was going with this. A lot of people's perception of who they are and what they are, and how we hold them at high esteem on all levels of our social life or whatever, is our fault. Like, just because somebody is great at something doesn't make them a great person. But just because somebody's not the best person doesn't mean that they were great at what they did. And I'm tired of people drawing correlations with artists specifically with what they do in their personal life. They share their music and they share their personal life because they're forced to share their personal life. It is not something that we
I'm glad you said that.
That like it is not something that we are typically privy to. Like, I love Will and Jada. I've always loved them as a couple. I've always loved Will Smith. I know Will Smith, they probably say he has some shit with him now, but he was like a beacon of hope in Hollywood for me, because I felt like you didn't have to lose yourself to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to be fake. I always felt like he was a genuine person. Yeah. And he raised his kids the way him and Jada wanted to. Like, they did it, It felt like if I had to watch somebody, I would tell you, hey, watch this up until a certain point, and then even at that point, understand that they're not perfect, because we hold them to a pedestal. But that comes from their personal life being leaked out on social media about some other shit that we normally wouldn't have heard about because they're not in it for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that shit. That's just me.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off what you're saying because I'm 100% with you. Like I hate, like that's one of my pet peeves. I hate when people do that and we sit here and we try to act like we perfect, like we ain't got skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we're just lucky as regular people. So say that we don't have somebody digging up into our lives and watching every step and having to put out there. And I think you said something that's very important. They give us their artistry, whether that's music, whether that's acting, giving us their life is because of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily choice.
Mm-hmm.
Giving us their life is because we got photographers out there, and I'll never be one of those photographers that's chasing them down, trying to get all the juicy stuff. That we got people that's just waiting to put something on the internet or
Wait, clout chasers, the original clout chasers, like
the original clock, yeah, and it's and that's not fair to them, and that's why like I said, I still love R. Kelly's music. Hell yeah, I don't care what he does in his personal life. That's really not my business.
Like now on that note, I guess the hypocritical thing would be because that mentality for me doesn't go full circle. I stopped that mentality at corporations, not the individual artists, but corporations itself. Like for instance,
Okay, break that down. What you mean?
like I won't shop. I want to say, Chad, help me out. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I don't want to fuck this up, but I'm pretty sure Calvin Klein said he didn't make his clothes for monkeys.
Yep.
I want to say that. I
Or
want
was
to.
it Tommy Hilfiger?
I'm pretty sure.
It was Hilfiger.
It was Hilfiger?
It was Hilfiger.
I thought I
Okay.
heard something about Calvin Klein too. About I didn't make my clothes for monkeys, and I was
It's
like,
probably
oh.
both, but similar.
So my mom used to
Original.
dress us up in Calvin Klein when we were younger all the time. Like that was her go-to product. And for that the maker of or the CEO of it to say this shit, about folks, I'm like, yo, I can't get behind that. Like I like you know what I'm saying? Like but as a corporations like that's where it kind of stops. Some people at the line are saying, well, you not buying it, don't change shit. It do. It definitely does.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, money talks.
Money is the only thing that affects people of wealth. Like they don't care about your opinion. They don't care about none of that. And while some people can say, "Oh well, I'll just franchise. I'll have other customers who don't like monkeys. So that'll be my target audience." Yeah, okay. So then you hit your peak or your marketing peak or whatever they call it, like Netflix did back in 2020, where they can't make any more money because everybody who could have a Netflix account has a Netflix account. So the only thing they can do is go down. Then you start losing what do you call it? Not sponsors. I said the wrong word. You start losing stocks. You start losing stocks, shareholders, and all that shit because they see the future. You're going down because you want to say dumb shit. Like it matters, and it affects us because stores like that or clothing lines like that can shut down and people will be out of jobs. But then where those people are out of jobs, somebody else is willing to pick up on those jobs too. So it's not all bad. Oh, hold on, I want to be quiet real quick. You done with your plug? You done with your plug? We had to be quiet.
Oh,
Hey, Tryst, I want to say that you sound a little better. Say something.
ayo.
Yeah, you've been sounding clean. You sound clean, so you can jump in at any time, sir.
No, I was letting y'all finish, but I have multiple minds of it with the points I was making.
Mm.
Because on one hand, I am more of a separating the artist from the art, at least in terms of appreciating the art. So it's like, for example, like Brothers make a good point that we all do have skeletons in the closet. My biggest thing is, especially with the celebrity makeup, not makeup, what's it called? Celebrity mistakes and fuck ups. Like those things like that, our own personal lives, those are for us to learn from. Like, so
Yeah.
like we can all have shit in our past that like we like looking back like, that look bad. But going forward, like think about it, R. Kelly had multiple times to look at his life and be like, yeah, that's
I
bad, or
agree.
yeah, that was
I
bad.
agree.
He got away with it times. He never stopped and was like, so yeah, there's certain people know your past. They might forever not fuck with you, but there's gonna be people who recognize growth versus recognize the evolution, where like you started off good and then you continued on a negative, terrible trajectory, or like you were an ancient person and stay that way. My other thing though is that, especially when it comes to like music artists, I get more so why people can't separate it because like think about R. Kelly for example. He made a lot of sexual songs. He made a lot of
Yeah,
love
I
making
was
songs.
just gonna say that. I was just gonna
Yeah.
say the only because then you don't because like if you use early 2010 Drake 11 Drake, you know, baby my everything and all these other songs that he was making, you know, you with the imagery you thinking that, you know, he's definitely talking about women. And with R. Kelly it's
Yeah.
sus because you don't know when you're talking about those things.
Well,
Is
you
it,
know what's special for people? Because remember that whole thing of him talking to Millie Bobby Brown and a couple like supposedly Rihanna left Drake because he was talking to somebody who was like 17 and shit like that.
I
So
didn't know
like,
that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But yeah, he survived
I mean,
that. But
those
yes.
rumors like just like those commonly held rumors. So like,
Okay.
it's one of those things where like, listen, there's skeletons in everybody's closet. It's for us as people, especially as we have more and more discourse, to like even if we have certain views, like the more we hear certain things, we can start to see from other minds at least how people look at certain shit. That shit might be just normal to us, or shit because we've been through traumatic shit. We like fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want. And the more you grow and the more you mature, the more you're supposed to move away from fuck it, I do what I want, and
Yeah.
more so
Yes.
conscientiously trying to be better.
I
So
mean,
like
it's a trap.
you can
It's
do
a
what
trap.
these other niggas don't do and grow.
I mean, look. Like I said, he. I don't have to. Like it's like I'll treat R. Kelly's role in all of this the same way I'll treat Bill Cosby. You know, Bill Cosby played a big role in my childhood growing up. What he's done in my childhood as a black figure on TV, along with Will Smith and Uncle Phil and all and Family Matters and all the other people, like their role of what's the word? Not viewership, but someone said I think Tryst said it before. It's representation. Yeah, representation. Their role as representation on TV for black and people of color was important. You know, everything that came after or what he was doing during, whether we were holding him in high esteem or we're not, you know, it is what it is. We're gonna have to. That's part of us growing up and having to accept that, you know, these things were a possibility. You know, not everybody is perfect. You know, we have to take that what we can. But what we don't want to do, because people get it twisted. People think, oh, this person wasn't perfect. My childhood was a lie. No, he did. They did exactly what they needed to do for you. Like the people who remember like the whole anti-drug movement back then. When we look at a lot of the rock stars and shit that we like, and they were actually behind the scenes doing bad, like heavy ass drugs, and people looked at them as like not really a good influence, which they weren't by all means, you know. But the reality was that it was because of said substances that made them or aided them in being great artists, and you can't really take that away from them. You can say what you want about Kurt Cobain's and all the Jim and everyone else, but like they could make some music, you know, and, like the hit like I'm not trying to go too far into, but yeah, like some people didn't like the fact that I want to say his name right, the main singer from Linkin Park, Chester, made music to help people to deal with hurting themselves and suicidal thoughts and everything else, and got them from a dark place for by making music that's relatable to them, only for him to commit suicide. So it's just like, but
But that's
you
another
should.
thing too. Like with no, the thing I was gonna add, you just brought something to mind.
Mhm.
So much of our society is not about improving like the actual condition, the material conditions of people's lives.
Right.
It's more about just giving them things to like have hope.
Mm-hmm.
And like so these people feel they have to be role models and be hope machines, but also not actually say anything really too political and like divide their base or something.
Right.
And so you have people living very split lives where they have to hide the ways that they deal with their stress and deal with their trauma. They're not really actually getting therapy they need. They are constantly living double lives between what we see and what they do to lead themselves. And then like it leads when they finally implode, when they have a Britney moment or a Kurt Cobain moment or like you said, Duke from Lincoln Park moment, or even a Tyrese moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no assessing of like, hey, what are we doing in society to help? Right, that's one of the reasons I'm so big on talking about rehabilitation, whether it's in social context or just in like how we think about things.
Right.
Because you know, a lot of us fall by the wayside and there's no one to pick us up. And so yeah, it makes more and more people, especially if people laugh at you for falling and everything like that, like it makes you more likely to want to hide your shit and not really address your shit because what if someone finds out from you trying to address your shit? What if you just hide it and bury it and suppress it? But
right.
the more you suppress, the more likely it's gonna bust out at some point. And like we really gotta start talking about the way like I'm all about holding shit to accountability, but there's also like what are we gonna do to actually improve ourselves, improve our conditions, and improve how we relate to each other so that like we aren't just slaying each other and laughing at each other like fall over and die, but we're actually trying to build something better for each other.
I agree. But look, we're going to actually take a quick break. We'll be right back. Give us about a minute, if even, and we'll give you some more information on this topic as well as others. Stay tuned. Hey. Oh, we lost Glenn. Hey.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay.
Okay.
I just turned the camera off for a minute.
Oh, okay. Welcome back.
Trying
We
to
were
go
just
back to live.
we were just finishing up our last topic about the music, and like I said, I just don't want people. I think ultimately, everyone's so used to pointing the finger at what they did or how they got there, and everyone's just like, well, they're a bad person or whatever. You know, I just want to let people know that regardless of whether you are good or talented at something, and you do some fucked up shit, you know, you're still a fucked up person regardless. But the shit that you were good at, you're still good at. You know, no, we don't necessarily have to support you anymore. But what I won't do is deny your legacy as, you know, whatever it is that you were good at. I don't care if you were good at playing fucking dominoes. You were the best motherfucker, but you were a serial killer. Well, guess what? Then you have two truths. You were a serial killer and you were really good at playing dominoes. Hey, motherfuckers could not beat you, and you was killing the competition literally. I'm just saying.
Listen, that goes
gives you
hand in
dominant
hand.
strategies for murder.
That goes hand in hand. Dominoes and a serial killer. That goes hand in hand.
Hey, what the fuck?
It does.
He said
It
he
does
knows
go
from
hand in
dominoes
hand.
back home that was great domino players who will slaughter you in other ways too.
What?
Yeah. It goes hand in hand.
Wait, I need the explanation of why serial killer and dominoes goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm about to
The
say, yeah,
energy
you
of
can't say
slamming
no
that
shit
double
like that.
fist
And
is like slamming a knife.
Well, my bad, people.
That is stupid.
I can't. But no. So that being said, if we're talking about dead or alive, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I wish we just said alive because it'd be a little easier for me to just say like K Dot or J Cole or Andre 3K or fucking Lupe Fiasco or Project Pat. Or if you like Project Pat, that's a whole different animal.
Let's not also forget Lil Wayne though. He had
Look,
his era.
I mean,
No.
because he got exposed. The album that I liked about from Lil Wayne came from Gilly the Kid.
Talking about Gilly?
Yeah. I love the Carter
Rise
2.
of
That
Dead
is my
Riders.
favorite rap album next to Encore. Like those two go hand in hand for me. If you asked me to pick between the two, I couldn't. Like I love the Eminem Encore album, even though he hates it. It was very prolific for me in the fucking 8th grade, as well as the Carter 2. Only to find out that Gilly the Kid wrote most of that album.
Damn.
I mean, Drake was supposedly a ghostwriter for Wayne too.
Yeah, and
But
well, not even. That's why. Look, but we already know about the Weeknd, right?
yeah, and also the Weeknd, like what he said about how Drake took like half his songs to the fucking album.
Drake made him pretty much write
And
an
that's
entire album in order for
Yeah.
him to come out.
And
He
that's why
had
the
to
Weeknd didn't
lyrically
work
suck
with him
Drake's
no more
dick.
after that. Listen, there's a lot, but that's what I'm saying. Like on one hand, there's a part of my mind where it's like these niggas ain't real rappers, but there's another part of my mind where it's like this whole industry is like this though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
let's not
yeah.
pretend like oh there's this class of like true pure artists, and then there's other class where it's so manufactured. And
But
it's
no, but it
turning
kind of
so much
is
shit
though.
out.
It kind of is because like
But
that's
it's
why people
both.
watch. Like you don't have to worry about that shit when you listen to like underground rappers or battle rappers. You're like
true.
you go into those type of scenes, even if they like reciting some shit, they're reciting some shit that they wrote. That's like the point, unless they stole it. And in those scenes, because of how real they are, that shit gets exposed real quick. Like
Yeah. But,
like remember I just watched the interview with T-Pain about a beef I didn't know about at all. Apparently about between him and Future way back when.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was talking about a beef, and this just interesting because I was like, he's beefing with somebody. But again, people on Twitter or whatever, y'all motherfuckers, they know, y'all know. Around the time that Future came out with that, I woke up with a new Bugatti song. He had took a picture with T-Pain's Bugatti and said it was his. And T-Pain was like, that shit look awfully familiar. I wonder who it is. And
so much flexing. Who was it recently? He was talking about how niggas be wearing rented chains and shit like that. like a lot of hip hop is about faking the fraud until you actually can like
Yeah.
get that money, and like on one level like it's so much false advertising. Another level, I know why they do it because like Jay Z said, would you rather be overpaid or underrated? Like
I
there's a
mean, not
lot of
even
niggas.
that, but think about it. I mean, because if you're gonna write the shit, you're gonna write the shit regardless. Like, there's two sides of the industry on that perspective. Like, once you make it, the industry will hire writers to write the shit they want you to write because your job is to make money. Like, I remember,
Yeah.
I want to say, hold on, it was an artist. It's not Lil Durk. It was somebody else. Hold on, let me think. It was somebody. It may have been. It may have been. Young man who just recently passed away within the last few years. I'm trying to think of his name. Juice World. It may have been Juice World or Lil Punk or one of them. The bullshit or whatever. No, Juice. Juice was forced to pretty much make music that the industry wanted him to make. And he had his own songs. And like you would have an album and maybe one of those songs were actually his own personal songs. And the other things were just shit that he just had to fucking recite.
Put out.
Yeah, and that's like and that shit drives me crazy because it's like, oh, he got the sound, he got the look. Well, we got the writers to match his sound and his look. So let's just make my, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how
they eat.
Yeah.
That's how they eat.
Yeah.
If you write all your music, then like how much can they really take out of your check? Like they still gonna take, but if it's all you, I mean, same thing with Taylor Swift where she fucking who I forgot who was her manager who owned all the music, so she fucking like remastered all the shit and basically remade her whole album so that the shit would finally be all owned by her.
What is his name?
You said what?
Know his name. Gotti? Something Gotti?
Are you talking about Yo Gotti?
No. Never mind.
Bugatti?
No.
Okay. I mean, that's not uncommon too.
Oh, you're okay.
Cause like the industry, like it's a lot. It's a lot. Like when we talk about who's the great, like for me, when I think about the GOAT, a lot of it can go down to the versus battles, but then they're so fake because it's like you don't know if the artist made the music. Now that I know what I know, or did the studio itself make it? Was that a product of Universal Studios and Universal Studios sitting back like, yeah,
Irv Gotti.
Yeah, we made
Irv
that shit.
Gotti.
Irv Gotti. Yep.
Irv Gotti was holding these motherfuckers out. All of Ashanti shit going to fucking Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, that's so shitty.
Some of them, yes, Jennifer Lopez. I heard that Redman, was either Redman or Method Man, despite making all them hits back in the day, came out and said that in his career, he owned the most money he ever made at one time was maybe $23,000 because of the deal that he had with his record label. Yeah, it was really fucked up. Like shit like that comes out
with 9 niggas.
Yeah, right.
That's why everybody go independent.
I think we have a question. Should trans women be able to play in women's sports?
Wait, where's that? Where's that question? Is that Twitch? It's on YouTube?
I know on a completely different subject.
What did you say?
I'm gonna look at the live chat. The last comment I see is from Night B, and he was a communist. Let me see. I've been actively looking at it. That's crazy. Do we have any other chats?
See, I'm on the Restream chat, so it gives me
a different chat.
Yeah. Okay. So
anyway, what's the question?
Should trans women be able to play in women's sports?
I want to say subjectively no. I want to say the only way that I would accept, only way I would say that a trans woman should play in a trans sport is if we're talking about like the we call it the hormones and everything. Like not because remember, someone could be trans and not be trans, or so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like technically, I could put makeup on and say that I'm trans if I wanted to, and then start playing a women's sport. Like unless there's a procedure or a documentation for how that works.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff you cannot change.
I mean, to be fair,
there's some stuff you cannot change.
I don't know. No, because I think I disagree. Look, if crack can change a fat person to a skinny person, then you can get hormones to somebody or drugs to alter your physical being to be more like a woman. Like I don't disagree with that.
But
My thing
what
is
Glenn
this.
is saying is like bone structure.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, like all of that, but yeah, the bone structure, it's
I
just certain
mean,
stuff that makes you a man that you will get on that field and hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Like
that
real life.
already
You
happens
get
in
on
so
that
many
field and
different
hurt
sports.
somebody.
Like, look at if we were going to talk about being hurting people, we should probably get rid of boxing and MMA and fucking football because all them niggas are gonna end up with concussions at the fucking end of the day.
and
If you
mind
want
you,
We
to
Yeah,
good.
but that's not the point though.
I'm speaking
Yeah.
from a person who
for
does
me,
not know the procedures of what it means to be trans in women's sports, nor am I a woman. So, like, but that's just my opinion. Like, at the end of the day, like, hold on, give me I don't know. Hold on, I'm sorry.
for
But
me,
just
it's more so one unless you're gonna for me, because already there's so many different body types in so many different sports. So unless you're going to create some weight class system or some height class system where whatever sport it is and whatever team it is, everyone's going to be within the same weight and thing, then it doesn't make a difference whether or not they're trans, especially considering the fact that like there, there's plenty of states where they're not even letting people have the gender uh, assignment like procedures that they need. So yeah, there's going to be even more imbalance than they'd want because they weren't allowed to get the puberty blockers when they're younger. They're not being allowed to get the surgeries when they're older. And so, like, yeah, you're already creating a situation where you have discrimination and they're complaining about things being unfair, where they want to equalize shit in many cases, but they're not. So unless you're going to talk about mixing men and women's leagues, so there's already a blend and a balance. Unless you're going to talk about having a height and weight class thing, so that you just have it based on that. Unless you're talking about how you're going to switch things up so that you or like create a trans league or something like that. I do believe at the end of the day, for right now, then yeah, let trans women compete in women's sports, and then if you see results and you want to change it, figure out what's
Yeah,
going to be the
I'd
most
rather.
equitable thing
Yeah,
for
there you go.
everybody.
There it is. Like, I guess at the end of the day, like, regardless of whether or not I want to see it or not want to see it, I can't really call it cheating or see the results of it being unfair until it actually happens. You know, like like I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, America's always been kind of like a reactionary country any fucking way. So why should we be any different about this? Like, let's be real. Motherfuckers always want to talk about, oh, but it's gonna be the worst thing ever. They're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Motherfuckers gonna get out there and hurt people and just be the best at everything, being on easy
But
mode
it's
and this,
about
that, and the
niggas
other.
in
But
sports too.
right, but at
mhm.
the end of the day, like, regardless, if, like I said, I put it to you like this: if a trans woman wants to go out and play football, or a trans man wants to go out there and play football, in the NFL, and you can handle it, by all means, go for it. Go for it. Do what you do. You want to be out there. You want to make something like this. The NFL might not like it, but shit, if you can prove yourself to not get and become a liability, and you want to do it, go for it. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Just
Why you look like that?
I know.
He was like, yeah, yeah, I'd
Okay,
love
go
to see
ahead.
it. Like what?
I sound more like a dare.
No, I mean,
It really does.
do it. That it is a dare. It is. It
On
is.
that,
If you're going to dare to be different, be different. If you're going to dare to do things that haven't been done before, if you're going to dare to be the next, I almost said, I almost had the trans community on my ass. Hold on. What the fuck's her name? Uh, fuck, I can't think of her name right now. Fuck.
describe.
She used to be Bruce Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn. I was just thinking Kyrie. I don't know why I was thinking Kyrie. But Caitlyn, if you want to be the next Caitlyn Jenner and win,
Caitlin's full of shit.
huh?
Because how are you going to talk about Caitlin's full of shit? How are you going to talk about you're a trans woman, but you don't believe trans women should be in sports? So what are you going to do with your motherfucking trophies? Are you going to give them back? I can say,
Who?
well, these
I'm about to
trophies
say,
belong to Bruce,
aren't beauty
but they don't
pageants?
belong to me as
Didn't she
Caitlyn.
win Woman of the Year like 2 years ago?
For the
Yeah, so like,
ESPN.
Yeah. The fuck is she
Yeah.
talking about?
yeah, so don't like it's full of shit for her. Someone like I hate people who are like kind of like class traders to whatever group they repping, but like they're like, oh, but I'm the good one. I'm the one that y'all don't
No,
have to worry
see,
about.
you
Like,
it be motherfuckers like that be filling the world with Trump propaganda. Like when he was campaigning talking about some, oh yeah, you're if you vote for me and you're a Mexican, you're one of the good ones. I'm like, what?
Wow.
You don't remember that
what's
campaign?
funny
It
is
was
that
so
a
one
lot
of the
of
good ones
Latinos
was
are
a
switching
whole
over though.
thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, yo,
A
what?
lot of Latinos are
Excuse
switching
me?
over.
What?
It's true. A lot of Latinos are switching over to Republicans. But it makes sense if you press people all the time about assimilation
Mm.
and you create this type of thing where they resent people who are undocumented in here and worry about they're gonna jump the line for citizenship and me and my family had to go through all this to get citizenship. You're gonna create people who are more likely to become Republican or conservative at some point down the line.
Mm.
Especially if all Democrats have for you is, hey, dreamers, and we won't do anything to improve your lives or call off ICE or anything. But dreamers, yay! At some point, they're gonna be like, yeah, fuck you. We want the business opportunities that the Republicans are talking about. Same thing with a lot of black men. A lot of black men also switching to conservative because they're more so concerned about business. And all Democrats have for them is like, hey, we will eventually fight for voter rights. Don't you
But that's a
worry.
lie. It's a lie. I mean, you know this shit. In fact, Obama kind of exposed it back in like 2012 when what was it? When the government when the government shut down for like 4 days.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Republicans were coming to my job or where I was volunteering at the soup kitchen. People who don't look like they normally need to go to a soup kitchen were going to soup kitchens to get food because they couldn't go 4 days without whatever pay or pension or whatever they had. And what they said on TV was, I forget the nigga name. It was white dude, bald white dude. You know the stereotype. Anyways, but this nigga was like, if you can't go 4 days without the government shut down, then you don't need to be a Republican. I was just like, what? You not only did you leave them out to dry, but you verbally left them out to dry. It just opened my
That's MLM
eyes.
energy.
Huh?
That's MLM energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, damn. That, like, if I was a Republican, that would have been it for me. Just hearing that shit like that, like I thought I was good. My Republican Party gonna get me? Nah, nigga, we ain't got you at all, nigga. What the fuck? What?
I mean, there's a lot of people who would vote for third party if they were actually viable in this fucking country. But our country is so beholden to the two-party system and all the money that goes into it. They're like, did you see that recent thing where someone asked Joe Biden, "Hey, Joe Biden, 2/3 of the country says they don't want you to run again." He's like, what line polls did you read? Like, have you read the polls? Actually, it said 92% of Democrats said they would vote for me. So what the hell are you talking about? And he's talking about a thing saying basically if the election was tomorrow and you had to choose between Joe Biden and Trump or just not voting, who would you choose? So like, yeah, they would vote with the options being Trump. Yeah, Democrats.
I'm gonna
like,
say Trump can't run again. That's not fair. If Trump runs again, everybody's gonna unanimously look at the Democratic Party and be like, fam, get somebody else. You better not let this nigga run again. Hey, we not doing it. We not doing it.
That's what Biden's counting on though, because like he said, if it's Trump, then 92%.
Yeah, he'll win. Of course he'll win.
Go for him again.
We just got over one. First of all, let's be real. Too. Let's be real. And I hate to say this because I know not everybody's Democrat or Republican, whatever. But let's be real. Every time a Democrat gets in office, it's always off of some, I gotta fix the country bullshit. Every fucking time. I gotta fix the country bullshit. And they always fuck it up. The Republicans always fuck it up to the point where it's like you said, like you normally say, like the 2% or the 5% or whatever percent of people actually are straight. and the rest of us are just kind of like, okay. And then, Republicans kind of do something, but they can only do so much because Republicans don't play the same way as Republicans do. Republicans do what the fuck they want to do when they get in office. Look at how Trump moved. Trump moved like that. Trump like, I don't give a fuck. I'll do what I want. Hey, you don't want to do it? I'm bipartisan. I'll do the shit. And then we get in office, and here we go, old ass fucking Biden. Oh, we shouldn't force bipartisans.
Mummy ass.
Yeah, we shouldn't force bipartisans to get what we want because that's just going to make them overturn it when they get elected. Motherfucker.
But that's their thing. They love doing that because they said we want a big tent. We want more centrists. We want more moderates. We want more Republicans. We want more FBI agents to come into the Democratic Party. So they don't want to push for anything for real and actually like stand for the working class people because their whole strategy is, like, you know how people used to say, when all the old people die, that'll be the end of racism? That's literally how the Democratic Party operates. They operate as in, we got the next generation. All the young people, they're going to be voting for us. So we don't even have to worry about shit. Like,
they're playing the long game like the Republicans playing the long game, which you're saying.
Except their long game doesn't work. Because think about it. Think about how many young ass, conservative ass, racist ass, patriot front ass niggas rising up right now. Like, and especially the harder, like, we're in the midst of, like, they said the worst inflation we had in like 40 years. Like, the more shit gets bad, the more people just look for scapegoats. Like, a lot of this anti-trans stuff, a lot of this anti-queer stuff, a lot of this anti-immigrant and anti-Black Lives Matter, CRT stuff, it's the scapegoating to say, hey, blame these people wanting more services and more rights and, like, taking away this government attention from, like, improving, like, things for businesses that will then trickle down to you. Like, people are blaming all these things on all these groups of people that have no power over the government, have no power over the economy, but as long as you're focused on that, you won't notice all the rich people stealing all the money out the back door while they're saying, we don't have any money to give you niggas. We don't have no money to do for free school lunch or Medicaid or fucking anything else. You niggas just have to suffer.
No, I get it. I mean, it's always been a lesser of two evils kind of situation.
Yeah.
But if we're going to go with the lesser of two evils, and this is the part that always kills me about Republicans and trans Republicans or gay Republicans or whatever Republicans of the non-straights, because Republicans are very conservative and have always been about reverting back to like the 1950s and 60s or the golden years, traditionally. And I'm like, if you're going to pick a party, lesser two evils or not, pick somebody who has you in their best interest. Like, if you're gay, trans, LGBTQ, whatever, or support the LGBTQ, how could you, in good faith, like, be a Trump supporter? I'm gonna say Trump supporter specifically when his rhetoric was very much opposed to anything LGBTQ, like, period. And you'll have people of all these nationalities and backgrounds and ways of life saying that this guy is great, and I'm like, aren't you gay? Like, I don't they want to stop you and your partner from getting married? But do you think, like, you're like, you following like the Mexican fucking ads where you're one of the good ones just because you voted for him? Like, you understand that they don't give a fuck about you, right? Like,
that's the thing, that there's two sides of it. There's the rich ones who are just grifting, and, like, I don't care about class solidarity or group solidarity. I care about my pocket, and they're gonna push me as, like, ooh, look, see, black people actually fuck with this. Ooh, gay people actually fuck with this. You're gonna be the face for that, and, like, even though your people don't fuck with you, you're getting that money.
But that's not how Republicans operate. They don't even really talk about money. Not with us. They care about they'll get you with policies. Hey, you guys are emotional, right? Yeah. You guys are not happy with the way the country's run? Yeah, no, we're not happy. What don't you like about the country? You, sir, what don't you like about? I don't like the fact that there's gay people in the fucking in my NBA games. Okay, sir, we're gonna do something about gay people. Okay, there we go. And I'm like,
Well, it's not
What the
even so
fuck
much
you gonna
that
do
they
about?
they hate gay people. It's much more that they want the power to
Oh,
basically not have to
I
think about that
they
shit.
don't. No. It's not that they don't hate gay people, right? But they're willing to say rhetoric to make to attach themselves to people who do, and that's the part.
Yeah,
Like you'll
yeah,
like as much as I want to get on Trump's ass, you'll never hear certain things about Trump say that he ever said. Like you'll never hear him say, "Oh, I don't like black people." Just don't like black people.
yeah.
I never said he's like the king of getting over on people. Like, hey, I never said I don't like Mexicans. I never said that. Never said I didn't like Asians neither. You know? The most you'll get me on is making fun of the retarded kid going, like that's the most you'll get me on is doing that and making a meme of myself. But other than that, like I let my fans speak for me. You know, I'm not the one who had the doll of Obama and Michelle hanging at my fucking rallies. I'm not the one, you know, who invited just skinheads. Anybody was invited. You know, it's just that my rhetoric reached a certain voice and hey, they seem to like it, so I kept speaking it. It's just like, oh, so
There's
you
a good
decide yourself.
video about that.
Hmm?
I gotta find it for y'all. There's a good video about that talking about basically because of basically that big tent that they have, where there's different people who believe different things, and they might each have their own different conspiracy theories. And because of QAnon, a lot of them have been able to come together and kind of merge under a similar umbrella. Like you have where like we talked about it recently around the whole Buffalo basically domestic terrorist mass shooting in the grocery store, where about like 60% of like conservatives believe in at least some aspect of like the Great Replacement theory. And so when they say, oh, we don't really hate blacks or gays or anything like that or Hispanics, but it's more so like, oh, I don't necessarily hate them, but there is a Democrat agenda to place good working white Americans with these people, and I'm not gonna let myself be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very like one, think about what you're saying, and then two, so think about what you're implying you're willing to do to stop that.
Yeah.
And you have similar shit happening in Europe too. It's not just here. It's just because I think of our special like relationship to like slavery and like other countries found a way to end slavery through like laws and deals and like eventually bringing an like abolition and an end to slavery. We had to fight wars to end our shit. We had to have a whole civil war where niggas was playing the fuck out of each other to finally end slavery. And then we still have a version of it through mass incarceration.
Right.
But niggas were that willing to not let go of slavery that they broke off from the country.
I mean, we had people,
They broke off from
I'm
Great
not the last
Britain.
thing I'm gonna say about, you know, I guess the particular politics because it kind of branches off of something that Kenny and Glenn had said a few weeks ago. But we have people on both sides who will, especially in the past, will fit an agenda simply because it makes them feel more American. Because in a lot of ways, people of color and so on uh, are treated as if they don't belong. So they put themselves in different groups so that they can feel like, hey, yo, I have these ideologies that makes me American, right? Right. Hey, I'm not racist. Like you're not racist, but I think that you know if we see black poor people, that's not good. We should move them away from what we're doing or whatever rhetoric that we have at this point that makes me American, right? Right? Hey, do you guys like me? Can you like me, please? Oh my God. Like, that's a real thing. And I hate to say it. Ooh, I don't like this topic. Ooh, boy. But I have experience with a certain ethnic group. I'm sorry for my island women, but like, y'all are a trip. Specifically, hold on, let me see. What were they? Trinidadians. Oh my God, Trinidadian women. you know, of all the ones that I've met, I think I've met a total of 5 personally. Um, were in different groups or practices that did not have their best interests simply because they did not associate themselves as a person of color. I kid you not. Like they were like they were like the you know how Spaniards are to Mexicans, kinda. Like the hierarchy is like Spaniards are the greatest things of all time, and like,
Are they?
huh?
Are they?
Yeah, are they?
Yeah, are they?
There's a hierarchy within like the Hispanic skin tone bullshit where like
yeah. Remember
El
we talked about that?
Salvadorians don't want to be called Mexican. Mexicans want to be Spaniards, and Spaniards don't want to associate with any of them.
That goes back to white supremacy though. Like
Of
remember
course.
on one episode we talked about how it was literally a thing about trying to get as close to white as possible,
Mm-hmm.
which is why you'll have dark ass Dominicans who like I'm not black, I'm Dominican. You have
Yeah. That's what that right there. That's what I was going for. Cause like the lady,
proud to be
I've had Trinidadians tell me they're not black, be darker than me, about as dark as Kenny ass. Tomo, so I'm not black. I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you? Oh, I'm Trinidadian. Oh, so you fancy black? You just fancy fucking black. But you know.
Okay, so I actually knew a girl.
See? Oh, see, it's fucked up. Are you serious?
So okay, it was this girl I used to hang with like when I was younger. And she was like a young girl. She was like 16 or whatever. I just used to hang with her, whatever. So one day I said something about you're black or something like that. Like she said something real crazy. And I was like, but you're black. And she was like, no, I'm Jamaican. I'm like, ma'am.
Right.
You are a black Jamaican. Like, no, we're not about to keep playing around like this.
What?
She probably. There's a lot of people who associate black with like black American. Like I remember working at Target overnight and working with some Africans, and they're like, oh, like they have no problem calling you a nigga. You call them a nigga back. Like, oh no, we not no nigga. We not no cotton picker. And like there's that distinction in their mind. Like, oh no, y'all was do that slavery. I was like, let's not forget, nigga, that they came for all of us. Meaning, there's in y'all country. Even if you stayed in Africa, it was up in like 95% of the countries up in there. That's just how colonization works. Don't get it twisted just because you wasn't motherfucking taken and chained across to other fucking countries, nigga. They were still all in your ass taking all your motherfucking resources.
Motherfuckers need to stop having. Motherfuckers need to stop having house slave and field slave fucking-tality. Okay? Like, truly. Like, I need y'all to chill the fuck out because
I feel Puerto Rican in this hair.
I feel Puerto Rican in this hair. No, I mean, but it's serious though. I ain't never seen, and it's consistently. It's consistent. Mm-hmm. These Trinidadian women do not know each other. I will not say any names. If you listen to this, I apologize. But you know who you are, or you know of whatever. And if you're not like that now, that's cool. But I remember what you were.
Because my roommate is always talking about, oh, you never claim your Asian side because since I'm Trinidadian, like, oh, you got Asian in you. I'm like, bitch, I ain't did no 23andMe. I don't know that for sure. And they're like, oh, look at your eyes.
No, I mean, like, to be fair, I had a friend ask me a question like that. She was like, well, because I made this same argument to him. He's like, well, what if you're white, but you were born in Africa? Does that make you African?
A white African.
You're a white African. I was saying, you're a white African. You're an albino African.
I say you're a fucking colonizing African. Huh?
You're a colonized. You're from. He's from colonies. Yo, what the fuck, man? Colin,
For whites in black countries specifically, they are the. We don't even say you're not even Caucasian anymore. You're not even white. You're colonizing Africa.
I'm about to say, what if they're born there? Like they're born, they never left the country, they've always lived there. They're just white.
True,
A white African.
We know their homeland ain't. We know in their blood. The only reason they're there is because Mr. Motherfucking their version of Christopher Columbus was over there and was like, let's fuck it up. Kind of fuck it up.
I mean, but are we gonna get mad at them for saying, "Hey, I'm actually an African"? Because there's no white African.
What the
Glenn,
hell?
Glenn.
Glenn.
Oh my God! No, he did not.
Kenny, my guy. You there, my guy? Kenny.
Yeah.
Get your mans, bro.
Fam,
you fell the fuck asleep.
Whatever, what you talking about?
Sir.
I mean, y'all got to talk about politics, man. You know
Sir.
I like politics.
Sir.
My bad.
I mean, you were snoring.
We weren't even. We truly weren't even talking about that shit though. We done moved on to the spiciness.
My man said, "I don't hit you. You gonna just hear the snore in the background."
He said, "That's the only politicking I do." I feel you. Speaking of which, since we said it, before we move on, because we have to take a brief shit real quick. Midterm elections are coming up. Make sure you guys vote, even if you don't like voting. Do your research. If you are voting, don't just vote for any fucking body. Don't be an idiot. Like people, these motherfuckers get by so often just because motherfuckers just go to up there and don't know what the fuck to do. That's a whole nother story that I actually had a conversation with my brother about on a different podcast years ago that I wouldn't mind talking about again. And this you might be interested in, England, but I'm not going to do it right now. It might just be a topic. But anyway. No, I'm dead ass.
I like you, voice of God, but I ain't voting for shit.
No. It's a spicy one. It's about the process. It's about the process.
I don't even know what is going on anymore.
But we need to transition real quick.
Or
are we? Or is this it? Are we? So we transition.
I like chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets are good.
Chicken nuggets are great.
Woo! Chicken nuggets. Welcome back. Welcome back. For our few people that are in chat, thank you for hanging with us for the time that we have. I definitely want to give a shout out to Jasmine's Simpkins and Night B. You guys are awesome. I love you. I love the questions you guys asked. Somebody else asked the question too, or gave an opinion. PD, who was it? The question that I couldn't see.
Which one?
The one about the trans women in sports or trans people in sports. That was Jasmine. Oh, I did not see it. Okay, just making sure. We appreciate you guys and anybody else who tunes in and appreciates our podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe it, and follow us on our respective social media. But yeah, no, just throwing it out there. But yeah. I know one of the things. Now, mind you, I just a disclaimer. I've been editing the shows behind the scenes. The Voice of God, as you know, the cast calls me. But I actively haven't been part of the recording sessions like I normally am because of work. And there were some topics that I actually wanted to touch on, just knowing what they were. Actually, really only one topic that really got me like, ooh, I want to talk about this. And that was my experience or my history with reading. And what book series got me into reading or reading more. And I definitely want to say my first book that really was like, go, was probably Harry Potter as well. About third grade, we had a teacher who used to read to us so that we could just focus on, I guess, the imagination part. And she would do a few chapters, and then she would let us read. So then we would read our own Harry Potter books or whatever. And from there, I became a fanatic. It got to the point where it depends on the order, but I would like watch the movies and then go back and read the book to get like the director's cut of the movie. Like some of the, like I always talk about how there's a scene that's never in the movie. I preach the books all the time, first of all, even now. I'm like, I can't read the book. The book is too big. Trust me. It's chock full of so much extra shit. They couldn't put that shit in the movie they wanted to. Like, for instance, I think it's the Order of the Phoenix or the Half-Blood Prince. Where Malfoy gets his ass stomped out by Ron and Harry. After
oh my god, was it Office Space where they were stomping out the
computer?
The printer? The copy, was it the computer or the copy machine?
I can't remember. I just remember they were stomping out Office Supply.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. It was a
scene
scene.
with
So
music.
Harry and Ron had already lost the Quidditch game. Whatever they were doing, they I don't know if the Quidditch championship or whatever, they lost, right? And they were, they took their L, whatever. And they lost to Malfoy's team. Malfoy was like, yada yada yada. Yada yada yada, go back over there with your mud blood. So, or something talking about Hermione. And they were like, what did you say? And they're like, yeah, they're mud blood. And then they ran across the field and started stomping fool out. I was like, yo, what? Like, this shit like that. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
That sounds violent.
It was violent. It was violent.
They are fighting magic Nazis.
pretty much. It was just like, whoa. You never would have thought that any kind of fist fight would have just broke out like that. Like, they was beating his ass. It was just like they always kind of treat that like Malfoy is calling her a nigger or something. Like, they always go there. It's like it
might be their word for nigger.
It is. Well, it is. Mud blood. Muddy in the blood with muggles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, it's it's their turn for it, and it was just so it resonated with me so well because I was like,
oh my God, think about this. What if somebody said you're a nigger mudblood?
there was
Oh,
only a few black people in the Harry Potter universe,
I
and I'm
know.
pretty
But talking about
sure,
that picture,
huh?
I actually, but I mean, think about it. It's J.K. Rowling. We already know all the problems she has with the trans community.
Yeah,
She seems
I mean that would
so.
surprise me.
It's just think about it. You telling me that there's no just because we're Britain, there's no nigger wizards, no nigger witches.
It probably is. There probably isn't. You know. I mean, but to be fair, see, she's one of those people where I while I can get mad at her her life choices, can't get mad at what she's done as far as me reading and getting to where I wanted. Because if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have got into manga. I probably wouldn't have even tried to. I probably would have just been like one of those other everybody else who just didn't like reading. But she was definitely a staple in me liking or wanting
I'm
to read.
so sorry.
What?
I don't even know.
No, yeah. One of the people who wanted to read. It was that manga helped too. When I got older, and I went back and reread some series. I heard y'all talking about some manga series. I was like, oh shit, we talking about my shit. Like reading Full Metal Alchemist and realizing for the first time that the manga and the anime were not the same. I just happened to stumble upon Full Metal Alchemist, the manga, around the same time. What was it? The Raffly Hollows, I think it's called. The last final. What was the last? Deathly Hollows.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you. The last Harry Potter book had just came out, and I was at the library, and I decided to get some Full Metal Alchemist manga at the same time. You know, when I got tired of reading that very chungus fucking Harry Potter book, which me and my brother kind of ate in like a day. Kind of savage. I could also, just sit back and relax and read something that I thought I knew the material for. And I was like, wait, after like maybe chapter 3 or 4, I was like, wait a minute, this shit not the same. Wait, I finished Full Metal Alchemist back in 2004. This ain't 3 years ago. Wait a minute. Hey, bruh. This shit not the same. And then from there, it was just like, off that and fan fiction. I know we whoa boy. When you're a fan of something and you want more of it, you crave more of that series, fan fiction was the way to go. I never wrote my own fan fiction, but fan fiction was definitely what I read when I wanted more of whatever series that had ended, whether it was the Avatar: The Last Airbender or fucking
It wasn't a book. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you good. Go.
It just came in my mind. It wasn't a book, but the Magic School Bus.
Magic School Bus.
You can't tell me I want the shit,
man. I don't even want to talk about that. I actually had a conversation.
I used to watch about that every single. You couldn't catch me missing an episode of the Magic School Bus.
Man, what?
I mean, but it did have a book. Though.
I will say Bill Nye the Science Guy and the Magic School Bus definitely made me interested in science and medicine. I will say that
our generation is a lot smarter.
I was going to ask, was the Magic School Bus our generation, or was that or is
that's millennials? That's us.
No, I'm okay. So the reason why I asked because I had a conversation with my brother. And I was telling him about when I was younger and I didn't really watch like the Thundercats or Voltron or a lot of these older shows because I felt a disconnect from them. Only for me to get older and realize that I was watching like a whole nother generation's reruns. Like it wasn't really made for me. And I was just catching secondhand of whatever the fuck you were watching 10 years ago. And I didn't understand my fucking 7-8-year-old brain didn't understand why I had this disconnect or why I didn't like the show, why I should like the show or not. And I was just like, I don't know, it just feels old to me. So I'm looking back and thinking about the Magic School Bus, and I'm like, was that show made in the 90s, or was that one of those 80s shows? Or
I didn't grow up on it.
it was like tail end. Oh shoot, my phone died.
You said tail end?
It was like tail end of the 80s.
Okay.
But the rest 90s, 2000.
Okay. Because I know that art. I know the art style of cartoons in the 90s
was so
it's changed dramatically. Like I could tell the difference between like I don't know Voltron versus SWAT Cats. Yeah, like
yeah.
But yeah, no manga, certain books. When I was on punishment, my aunt would make me read instead of playing like my action figures or video games. So there's some books that some people probably remember. They probably had to read in school, like The Contender, a boxing story that was really good, or Avalanche, with this guy trapped in the ice and trying to survive for like 7 days.
Yeah.
You read Avalanche? So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, it was good. Like it was one of those things that I could see as a movie, and how my imagination works. It was like whoa, like it gave me an appreciation for reading and everything else. It also fueled my creativity to create my own comic books, like reading all those different novels, graphic novels, or so on and so forth. Reading Lord of the Rings back in the day, and seeing how detailed sometimes it used to be.
Oops, sorry. 1994.
Thank you. See, so it was meant for us. Okay.
Magic School Bus was 1994.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only 2 seasons, y'all. Oh no, I'm sorry, 4.
I'm about to say, ain't no fucking way.
No, that was 4 seasons.
I was like, so were they rerunning all of those?
Them motherfuckers were put on noggin so fucking quick.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I remember Noggin.
I think Noggin still exists.
It does.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure
I'm
it's
gonna go on it.
It's one of those special one of those special channels that you have to order, like Boomerang. Mm-hmm. Like you don't get Boomerang for free, even if you have like even cable, you have to like pay for that. It's a whole extra service.
It is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. Chat, if you're still here, Jasmine or Night B, what were some of the books that? What was some of the books that got you into reading, if any? Even if it was just a little bit, something that piqued your interest in reading that you wanted to read.
But
go ahead.
But yeah, have you ever heard of the book Wiley and the Hairy Man?
No.
Damn.
No.
Nobody's ever heard of that book but me.
I mean, was that a book you had to read in school? How did you find that book?
Well, my parents used to just take us on trips to the library, and I used to like be able to pick out like I think it was like 4 books.
Okay.
And I would check out in the dark room and other stories and Wiley and the Hairy Man. Gotcha. And Wiley and the Hairy Man, that's kind of like I want to say it's a New Orleans tale from like the area or whatever, but I can look it up. Give me a second.
Look, when I was younger, the only book I was going to the library for that wasn't Harry Potter, because mind you, Harry Potter was still kind of
wild thing
big for me in 3rd grade, was Captain fucking Underpants. Captain Underpants was my shit.
He did.
No.
I said Wild Things.
Oh.
And what?
Wild Things.
Oh yeah, the Wild Things. Yeah.
They actually made a movie about that. I didn't get a chance. To see it,
they did. I dodged it because I didn't know if it was going to fuck up my childhood or not. I was kind of scared.
I was like, man, this
I don't know, man. Yeah, nah. The damn. Or like gimmick books like I Spy. The I Spy book series was great. But you don't really read I Spy. You just kind of do I Spy. But nonetheless, It was good. It was stuff that I remember. Yeah, Where's Waldo books?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had a Where's Waldo video game on the Sega Genesis. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
hold on. What was another one? I remember the Hungry Caterpillar, like that fat fucking caterpillar just eating through my fucking book. But or reading up on, now mind you, a lot of my reading was done when I was on punishment, so I had no choice but to and find a way to amuse myself. But I used to read National Geographic books and learn about spiders and different types of caterpillars and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But but to be fair, like I said, books like Captain Underpants were the reason why I decided to make comic books when I was a kid. I made my first comic book when I was like maybe 10. Yeah, when I was like maybe 10, I made my first comic book. I was pressed. I wanted to be. I was a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and I named my company Stink Comics, STINC, Sonic Team Incorporated, because and I drew my and I drew. I had like Dragon Ball Z action and everything else, and it was characters like George and Harold who were just doing their own thing, that inspired me to just do mine. Like, damn, they're just kids. If they can do it, whether it's shitty or not, I can fucking do it. So yeah, I mean that's my history of reading. I watched Animorphs, but I didn't really read Animorphs. I always thought the cover art was interesting, but I never really got into it. And same thing with Goosebumps. Part of me wanted to get into Goosebumps, but I never actually read a Goosebumps. No, I said that back. I didn't read at least one Goosebumps book, but I usually just watched the show when it came on for Fox Kids. Mm-hmm.
To me, the books were so much better for Animals than the show, especially since I think the show didn't go past like season 1 or whatever.
Okay.
But like, there was so much that happened. Like, there was once where they turned some kid who turned out to be like evil, like he used the powers against him, and it like forced him to become a rat and like be trapped in the rat form. And I think he comes back later to try and like get revenge and shit like that. Um, there's just a lot of like crazy little stories like that where, and I think like they sent one of the girls after him because she had like a spirit for like killing. So if there was anyone who was gonna like murder him, it would be her.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, I don't doubt it. Ever since I had dodged Harry Potter after like the first book and came back to it because everybody and their grandma was like, the books are so much better. Let me see what the fuck this is about. Oh shit. So like I get it. I truly get it. There's only but so much they can do in TV, especially in the 90s versus what you can write down in the book.
Yeah.
So the book will almost always be the director's cut of any TV series unless it's like a 1-to-1. And then you gotta keep in mind that just even if it is a 1-to-1, not everything translates well on the big screen or on TV. Period.
Yeah.
What's the theater of the mind is important. So sometimes a show or physical copy of something can literally mess up your perception of what it was that you saw. Now, in Harry Potter's case, because some of those books I read first before watching the movie, it was exactly what I was thinking. Like, okay, I wasn't too stupid. You ever had a moment where you read something and then when it comes out in theaters or on TV, it's totally different than what the fuck you were reading? It's like, that's not how I imagined it.
I'm also have it where like if I could either be giving something the benefit of the doubt and everyone else is like shitting on it, I'm like, well, damn, what the fuck? Or like everyone else just loves it, and I'm just like, don't you see? Don't you see how stupid it is?
Yeah. Oh, you sound like me with the whole Lil Wayne auto-tune thing. I felt like the art went out. I was in the Twilight Zone. I was literally in the Twilight Zone. I felt like the lonely stoner. Like actually, like everyone was
I
on
don't
this
mind.
man's testicles, and I was just like, "Yo, he sounds like an auto-tune asthmatic child." Can y'all? Can
I
y'all?
mean, yeah, but I didn't mind the auto tune. It was more so that he would keep repeating some of the same verses, like they were callbacks to his other song where he used the same verse. Like how many times I gotta hear about "Beat the Pussy Up" Rodney King? How many times I gotta hear something about some line I think about mustard or some shit that I would hear multiple times. I'm like, nigga, you can't keep referencing yourself across these multiple songs. And like people act like it's genius, but it's like no, it's he stopped writing and he wanted to be like Jay Z, and so to just and that's why he started getting into the lean so he could just
And it
be
was
free
because
with
of
it.
that we opened our arms to Drake so fucking freely because we were like, damn, I need a lyricist, please, somebody give us a lyricist. And he's like, here I am.
Yeah,
I will never forget that feeling because I really did feel like I was in a twilight zone. It's like, am I just going to give up on hip hop? Am I just going to stop? Then around that same time, the fuck's that nigga's name? Chief Keef came out, and I really didn't like Chief Keef. I really did. And I was like, oh, I thought Love Sosa was okay, and then I was like, okay, now everyone's mimicking this nigga. Okay, okay, now they're doing that plus auto tune. Okay, okay, now Lil Wayne's doing it. Okay, oh, um, Ludacris, where you at? Ludacris falls off. We don't hear from him anymore. He becomes a movie star. Oh, okay,
yeah.
so Kanye West made 808 and Heartbreak, so he's going through it. He just lost his mom. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, can someone do something, please? Because everything's starting to sound, and then we get fucking Trinidad James. I'm like, oh,
And he was here and out.
yeah,
He was here and gone.
and yeah, yes. And I was just, and then we got the other youngin, Racks on Racks on Racks. I can't think of his name right now, but I remember the song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's
Nicki
not so
came out.
easy either.
Nicki came out,
Listen,
and I was kind of happy because I felt like she at the time she was a wild card in the sense that she could fit so many positions, no pun intended. Like, she could be the R&B
that's what Petty
singer,
said.
she could be the pop singer, she could be the rapper, and I was like, yo, that's great, that's great. More power to you. You know, uh, despite all the allegations about her taking Foxy Brown and Eve, not Eve, sorry, what the fuck's her name? What's the young? Damn it, Foxy Brown. Who was she beefing with? That said that they took her style.
Okay.
Huh?
Nick,
Lil Kim. Lil Kim. Thank you. Lil Kim. Lil
Oh,
Kim.
she took
Yeah.
their style. It's just, she
Like,
definitely did. It's just she did it in a very gangster way, so we appreciated it.
yeah. No, I want to say like seeing like there's videos out there, y'all. Y'all can see what Nicki looked like prior to her becoming like a celebrity or anything. And yeah, she very much decided to become a sex symbol at that time. It just what it was. She flaunted it, and that's for better or for worse. That she decided to fit that role.
I mean, that's what people want from female rappers.
I
For
mean, yeah,
most
I'm about to
part, like
say you kind of, and I hate that we haven't talked about it
outside
here,
of
but I
Missy
have
Elliott,
talked about it before. Like they
outside of Missy
always, you said
Elliott,
what?
I said outside of Missy Elliott and some who are like more like rage
No,
rappers
even Missy
now.
Elliott had to do it. Missy Elliott was very sexual. She was just big and sexual.
Yeah.
Well,
Missy Elliott was like the queen of it. She was like, she won, bro. She was like the female Missy. She was like the female Busta Rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
True, but like she owned her sexuality more so instead of like ain't I so desirable, but more so just like talking about sex in the same way like male rappers are talking about sex. Like,
Yeah, but
yeah, I do that
but
shit.
she was. I mean, that's what TLC did.
Yep.
It's the same thing. They in fact, they were. It was frowned upon when they would do it.
She was also chasing waterfalls and just got the tits out and everything like that. Like they also had to sell sex too.
That's
Like
what I'm
nothing wrong
saying.
with
Like they
selling
had
sex,
to do it.
but like female rappers are like almost exclusively pushed into the you can't just like sex, you have to also sell that shit and be desirable on some like scantily clad shit.
Let me ask y'all this.
Again, nothing necessarily wrong with it,
I
but
can
like,
sell it.
So let me ask you this. Could if Megan Thee Stallion didn't talk about sex at all in her rap, could she survive as an artist?
a lot of female rappers
Hell no.
wouldn't because
No.
Hell no.
a lot of female rappers wouldn't, not because they don't have the skills in the bars, but that's literally what's expected
No,
of female
I get that. So I'm looking
Hell
past
no.
the content
Hell
of the sexuality.
Hell no.
And like for instance, Nicki could. I feel like if Nicki Minaj, the way
She
she
couldn't
writes,
either.
if she did not talk about sex right now, and she made a whole album just about being an artist, it would still do good.
Yep.
I will give
Oh,
Nicki
Nicki.
Minaj this.
Rappers won't.
I do believe that yeah, okay, but you know what?
I know you don't like her. We get it. I don't like her neither.
I like Pills and Potions. I do. I liked that song when I was a fan. And that wasn't really anything about sex.
Mm.
So that's why I'm not going to agree with you.
She's not a good person.
She's not.
She's not a good person.
She's not. But you know what? I'd rather fuck with her than Cardi B. Like.
Yep. All the way.
Like all the way. I might be hypocritical. You know, that might be like, hey, why would you? I just.
I feel that Cardi, her existence did something for hip hop, but at the same time, she is still just kind of a gimmick and kind of just, you know,
I mean,
like.
But she already said she don't want to take this seriously anyway. She said, "I'm just having fun."
Yeah, because that's the kind of art. Like, I feel like she wrote that one song by herself, and then when they saw successful, they had a bunch of people writing songs for her, and then when they were exposing the writing, she's like, "Well, fuck it. What do you want from me?"
Yeah, that's why M said what he said back in the Kamikaze album. He said these kids don't care about you writing shit anyway. Like he already said it. These kids don't give a fuck. They just want to hear good music. They don't care about who's the best rapper alive.
That's true.
Fucking Logic said the same thing.
Think about how many people is in, like, think about how many white kids you hear just passing by who look square as hell, just saying rap lyrics. Like, there's so many people who is a part of the, quote unquote, a part of the culture, or like that are a part of like buying into the culture. That why the fuck would those kids care if these people really live their raps or write their raps? They just care if the shit sound good, and if it's fucking, I don't even say speaks to them, but if it's just interesting shit for them to say as they fucking recite their shit or put that shit in their bio.
Right. Like that's
what made Drake so popular too. He had so many lines that people would just put in their bio.
Yeah. Like there are some Drake lines that I still say to this day in passing. Like you can have my heart, or we can share like the last slice. That is brilliant. Like it's like, who? Did you write that, nigga? Did you write that?
Yeah.
It don't even have to rhyme. It's just okay. Thank you, Birdman, because your son was fucking up, trying to be a rock star and shit. Like I was really, I was really fucking like angry. Like I was angry, and then like, don't get me wrong, he was doing some hot shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Drought 3, if anybody remembers that, like that was like the hottest thing mixtape wise to ever come out anywhere, probably because of how they pushed it. And that was just like, yo, the Drought 3 is so good to the point where Mike Jones literally lost his song. He literally lost it. They don't even call it his song anymore. It's Lil Wayne's "Sky Is the Limit" song. Yeah, that was Mike Jones' song.
Who? Mike Jones, and then no one knows who you are now.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was just like, yo, that's not this is a mixtape. He's using other people's instrumentals and making songs for it. But then the radio was playing song. I ain't never heard the radio play song from a mixtape before. Like they really set up. Fuck Mike Jones. Who are you? Like literally, who are you? It was like I will never forget thinking about that shit. It was like, And motherfuckers didn't even know. That was the kill. They didn't know. They didn't know that was his song.
I was gonna say, I'm probably gonna dip at midnight, but I wanted to have one conversation that
we're
I'd be having with
dipping.
my roommate.
once
Yeah, we
this
got about
timer goes
7 minutes. We got about 7 minutes.
Well,
We're dipping
okay.
once this thing goes out. Yeah.
All right, so real quick, what do y'all think of? To me, I think one reason that like hip hop doesn't have longevity it used to, or like songs die out so fast now, is because like we were just talking about with the mixtapes and Lil Wayne and everything like that. We no longer have that remix era. Like after Jack Queen, that seemed like the last person who was like really out here just remixing people's shit, and they shut that shit down. And I think because people aren't just like jumping on remixes, doing mega mixes, like songs have like a like couple week or month long longevity, and it dies out. We forget all about that shit.
I mean, I agree. I feel like it plays a part, but on the other side of that, right? Because of how information technology is now, and how the word goes around, and not only that, how producers, DJs, and other engineers have access to mixing equipment. People have just been making their own remixes and mega mixes. Yes, I miss the Akon days, the what the fuck, DJ Khaled days where I'm So Hood would come on and we have this mega mix of motherfuckers just being lyrical, or when T.I. would get like a whole bunch of motherfuckers together to do a cipher like Swagger Like Us or whatever other song he was making. I miss On Top of the World. Like the feeling of a good artist like Ludacris, baby, I love you for that one. Ludacris coming out of nowhere with one of my favorite lines. He just comes out strong. What goes up, what comes down. Wait, he said they say what goes up must come down, but I ain't reached my cruising altitude. Take a look. Take a look at what I did, but you can see what I'm about to do. I was like, damn. Okay. The places I'm about to go, the people I'm about to see, gave Bill Gates some binoculars and said, "Look out for me." I was like, "Yo, okay." I never really, cause you look at people like Ludacris. He's just a sex rapper. That's what he does. He writes about sex. He's very sexual in nature. Like you don't until he's not, and then he's about beating motherfucker ass. Like, but
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I do feel like the mega mixes play a part in not, or the remix game is not really being on the forefront of hip hop like it used to be, and it's on the back burner. So like I found artists and producers who make mega mixes of songs to kind of keep the longevity of certain things going. In fact, it's because of some of these mixes that I go and find the original song of where did this damn, like I heard a song. I have a remix that I go to every once in a while where it's Kendrick Lamar featuring I almost said Queen Latifah. That damn it. It's
Queen Naija.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Hold on. I'm fucking up. It's don't hate me, y'all. I'm trying to that she made that thing.
Lauryn Hill.
Thank you. So it was a mix between Kendrick Lamar and Lauryn Hill, and I was like, whoa, this sounds like something I've never heard before. When the fuck does she make a song? She's rapping? Wait, what? So I did my research. She was on a song. That verse they used was from a song she did with Nas's last album. That he just dropped, maybe like last year or whenever, and she featured on one of his songs, and there's a spoken word or whatever, and I was like, okay. So it depends. You definitely have to search for it now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You definitely have to search for it. So people who grew up listening to like DJ Khaled and Akon mixes and all that other stuff probably got groomed into producers and engineers and DJs to mix their own versions of what that sounds like to them. I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but Netin, your mixes are vicious. If you like those types of mixes, Netin is good. Cooking Soul is good. They're trying to keep hip hop and that style of hip hop alive. So. But what about you, baby? What do you think? You think your opinion on whether or not remixes or that particular style of mixing is what's missing from hip hop in today's music?
Creativity is what's missing.
That too. I feel it feels hypocritical to say that though now because like it's only I'm older now so I can see it, but I'll be like, damn, this music was da 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 da. It took it from this song, and I go back to the songs I listened to when I was younger, and it's taken from other people's music. I guess the real big difference is that they're remixing the same type of music like rap versus like we were remixing like rock, blues, sampling disco music when disco died and shit like that. I agree. It now listening to it back, it feels more lazy. Like
yeah.
But we're running down on the time.
Yep, we are coming about that golden last minute where we need to shut down. So if anybody has anything they want to say real quick, please go ahead.
Make sure y'all go listen to Stomp later with Ludacris and Young Buck.
Yeah, I'm listening to that. Again, shout out to Jasmine and Night B. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Or anybody else who tunes in with us. So if you have any comments, agree with us, disagree with anything that we say. What you say, Kenny?
No, I'm gonna say that Stomp. No, I was talking about that Stomp song Tristan was talking about. That was when the game was with G Unit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Okay.
I think that was around the time he may hit it a little bit.
Hold on. Queen,
we'll
what you
see
got?
you guys next time.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm fading. We're all fading.